Steam sales are already dangerous, but space sims are a special kind of trap for us. 1 minute you're browsing, the next you're planning trade routes and convincing yourself I'm finally going to learn about orbital mechanics. Today we're looking at 20 space sims worth picking up in the Steam winter sale, and more importantly why they're genuinely good plays in 2025. Hey everyone, my name is Tom and this is LT Gaming. We try to take a slower, more thoughtful look at strategy games, simulations and everything in between. We are giving away 5 X4 Foundation Discovery Pack keys to this video. If you want to enter, give the video a like, drop a comment telling us what space sims you're going to pick up in the sale, and then you got to be on Discord so we can hand the keys out to you. As we go, I'll show you the price in euros because that's what I see, the percentage discount on Steam, and then a little bit about the game. 20 space sims, proper reasons to play them in 2025, and some tempting discounts along the way. Let's get into it now. Underspace, 40% discount, €10.07. Underspace is one of those games that immediately made me go, oh, you're trying something a little bit weird here, aren't you? It's very clearly inspired by Freelancer, but instead of clean sci-fi, it leans almost into cosmic horror. Strange storms, unsettling creatures, and a galaxy that feels hostile in a way I really like. What sold me on this one is that it's not procedural soup, the star systems are handcrafted, so you're constantly bumping into something intentional, a derelict, a faction hotspot, or a situation that's clearly about to go all wrong. It's still early access, so expect some rough edges, but in 2025 it's refreshing to play a space sim that actually values personality and direction over the infinite scale. Astra Protocol 2, 75% discount, €1.42. Astra Protocol 2 is a bit odd, and I mean that as a compliment. This is cassette-futurism mission control. You're running a ship through an 80s style terminal interface, issuing text commands, juggling modules, and using an operations manual like you're actually on some sort of search and rescue job deep in space. Helm, engineering, science, navigation, ordnance. It's all procedure and pressure, and it's tense, and I find it in a really satisfying way. In 2025 it stands out because it's genuinely different. Not another fly, shoot, loot, loop, but a systems first immersion game. It's not for everyone, but if you like manuals, checklists and panicking calmly, it's a brilliant one. Liberation, 50% discount, €7.39. Now Liberation is a proper retro sci-fi adventure, scrappy, characterful and more about focus than sheer size. You hop systems, dock, upgrade, take on work, get into fights and generally poke bigger powers in the eye until the galaxy finally notices you. In 2025 it's a good pick because it feels curated rather than algorithmic. You're playing a designed space adventure, not just grinding a loop forever. If you want something with some old school charm, forward momentum, this one is a cracking palate cleanser in a list full of sprawling sandboxes. Starcom Unknown Space, 40% discount, €14.70. Starcom Unknown Space is one of those deceptively Moorish top-down space RPGs where you set off for a little quick explore around and suddenly it's midnight. You explore, fight, investigate anomalies, get tangled in alien nonsense, and then gradually turn your ship into a custom-built beast with its modular building system. This one is a great shout because it nails that one more jump loop with actual progression and a sense of somewhat mystery throughout. The universe feels like it's hiding things from you and you gotta be determined to go and find them. Starship EVO, 50% discount, €9.75. This game is for the part of your brain that sees space and immediately goes to, right, I'm going to build a ridiculous ship. The building tools are the real hook with this one. Stretching, shaping blocks, detailing, engineering, moving parts. It is a creative sandbox that rewards tinkering. It's worth a look in 2025 if you love the construction side of space sims, and you want something more design forward and expressive. Keep expectations sensible here, it's still in early access and it's more about the joy of building and testing rather than a tightly structured campaign. Space Engineers 2, 20% discount, €23.19. Space Engineers 2 is one of those rare sequels that isn't just the same game but shinier. It's basically rebuilding the whole toy box so building feels cleaner, faster and more modern, while leaning harder into colonization as the long-term fantasy. I do have to say it is early access alpha right now, but Luke is really enjoying this one. In 2025, it is a great pick if you love that Space Engineers feeling of, I'm just going to add one more module, and then you're accidentally engineering your own doom at 2 AM. And of course, if you want to be along for the ride in this development journey. Evochron Legacy SE, 20% discount, €19.60. Evochron Legacy SE is an unapologetically old school space sim. You are of course a pilot in a vast sandbox, choosing your own life. Combat, trade, mining, exploration, survival, and it leans far more into the space flight sim than space theme park style. In 2025, it matters because it prioritizes the act of piloting and the freedom just to exist in the universe without any constant hand-holding. It's scrappy visually, sure, but if you want proper loner pilot vibes and don't mind it being a bit rough around the edges, it delivers hard. Rentry, a space flight simulator, 30% discount, €23.79. Now if you want to feel clever, this is the game to buy, and of course you'll be slightly terrified as well. It's a detailed simulation of early human spaceflight. You'll work through real procedures in Mercury, Gemini and Apollo style crafts, checklists, burns, altitude control, systems management, the lot. It's a brilliant pick because it offers something nothing else really does. DCS level seriousness, but for NASA history. It's not for everyone. If you hate manuals, run away. If you want to learn and really earn an orbit the hard way, it's fantastic. Children of a Dead Earth, 50% discount, €9.75. Channel favourite now with Children of a Dead Earth. This is the game you pick when you're sick of space combat behaving like World War II dogfights with stars painted on. This is hard sci-fi warfare. Ship design, realistic weapon concepts, proper orbital thinking, and fights that feel like physics arguments you're still trying to win with lasers. In 2025, it's special because it really commits fully to what space combat should actually look like. It can feel more like operating a weaponized laboratory than playing an arcade shooter, which is exactly why the right kind of space nerds will absolutely adore it. Delta V, Rings of Saturn, 44% discount, €4.58. Delta V looks very chill. Let's just mine some rocks. And then quietly it becomes hard sci-fi problem solving in the best way possible. You're running a mining ship in Saturn's rings with proper physics, meaningful ship systems, and that constant tension of, am I about to drift into something expensive? It's a cracking pick because it's laser focused, deep mechanics, a lovely atmosphere, and a loop that is both relaxing and intensely technical, depending on how seriously you take it. It's a one more run type of game, but for people who like their runs to involve a bit of thruster maths along the way. Space Engine, 40% discount, €17.39. Space Engine isn't really a space sim in the shooty tradey sense. It is a science-based 3D planetarium where you can roam the universe seamlessly, from real objects to deep procedural weirdness. It's a great pick and brilliant if you want awe and scale. Fly from Earth to a nebula, land on some absurdly pretty moon, lose half an hour just staring. Honestly, it's great for screenshots, world building, and reminding yourself that space is both gorgeous and utterly unreasonable. Right, just a quick midway breather here. If you're enjoying this video, consider subscribing and joining us here at LT Gaming. It really helps us. Chuck a comment below with what you're grabbing in the sale. And a big reminder, we got 5 X4 Discovery Pack keys to give away. Like the video, comment your picks, and make sure you're in Discord so you can get your key. Starpoint Gemini Warlords, 85% discount, €4.79. I still best describe Gemini Warlords as Mount and Blade in space. You upgrade a flagship, build a fleet, capture territory, and push your faction's power across the sector. Combat is chunky here, capital ship brawling rather than twitchy dogfighting, so positioning and loadouts will matter more than your reflexes. It's a great sale pick because it is feature complete, content heavy, and it scratches that specific itch of carving out a space empire without needing a live service MMO to do it. Void Destroyer 2, 65% discount, €2.86. Void Destroyer 2 is wonderfully scrappy. You start small, you do jobs, steal better ships, build a lovely little fleet along the way, and eventually you're taking bases and projecting some real power. The hook is this hybrid layer. You can fight directly and then pull back into tactical command when battles scale up, which keeps it feeling like both a space sim and a strategy game. In 2025, it's still a great shout because if you like games that climb from nobody to the sector's problem without a million cinematic interruptions, you're going to have some fun here. Avorion, 60% discount, €9.99. Avorion is the build your own ship sandbox that always escalates. You start with a brick and then some engines to go with it, and suddenly you're designing proper warships, running mining operations, and building a fleet because the galaxies decided to start looking a little tasty. In 2025 it's still excellent because it hits this sweet spot. Meaningful progression, co-op chaos if you want it, shipbuilding that's powerful without being unbearably fiddly. It's basically an empire builder disguised as a space game, and it's very good at it. Space Engineers, 50% discount, €8.49. Space Engineers remains the gold standard LEGO in zero-G sandbox. Build ships and stations block by block, and then find out whether your engineering is genius or a slow motion disaster. You can go creative and just build absurd things, or play survival and get deep into mining, refining, power, oxygen, production, you name it. Still a brilliant buy because it's mature, stable, and the workshop scene is utterly enormous. And yes, Space Engineers 2 is also shaping up into something special, but the first game is still the safe, feature-rich time sink you can disappear into for hundreds of hours. House of the Dying Sun. 70% discount, €5.99. House of the Dying Sun is pure concentrated space combat. You're in an interceptor tearing through enemy fleets. Then you zoom out, pause time, and issue orders like you're running a tiny war from your captain's chair. It's tight, brutal, stylish, and it respects your time. There's no bloat, no wandering, just mission pressure and big fleet moments. It still holds up because it blends that cockpit action with tactical command. It does it very well, and that's pretty rare. It's brilliant when you want intensity without signing your life away with it. SpaceBourne 2, 30% discount, €13.65. SpaceBourne 2 is what happens when one very stubborn developer looks at Starfield, Elite and Star Citizen and says, fine, I'm going to do it myself. It's a single player open galaxy RPG where you're not just flying, you're building a faction and carving the empire out in a procedural universe. Lucas sunk hours into this one before it even hit full release, which tells you a lot. Dogfights, planets, cities, contracts, piracy, mining, trading, politics. It is absurdly ambitious. In 2025 it's a great pick because nothing else was quite like it in the single player scene anyway. It is a bit rough in places, sure, but it's stuffed with progression and it has a lot more just one more job momentum, and it gets a lot of attention from the dev, so I can't complain there. Elite Dangerous, 75% discount, €4.99. Now Elite Dangerous is still the game that makes space feel properly huge. A one-to-one Milky Way where you can pick a life and just disappear into it. If you want a haul, maybe bounty hunt, bit of mining there, exploration here. It's a universe that supports the fantasy of being a working pilot, not just the chosen one. It is always a great buy because it's a long-term sandbox with community beats and a living backdrop. If you want the extra layer, Odyssey adds on-foot stuff to widen the fantasy. It's not perfect, but when Elite hits, it really does hit. No Man's Sky, 60% discount, €23.59. For me, No Man's Sky is still the ultimate pick a direction and go space game. Of course you're exploring, building, trading, fighting, you're cataloguing weird alien life, and somehow you end up running a settlement like you've been elected the mayor of some chaotic place. And in 2025 it's a brilliant sale grab because it's effectively a different game to launch. Years of major updates have turned it into a huge welcoming sandbox, with co-op expeditions, base building, ship collecting, and really proper reasons to keep coming back. It's the sort of game where you reinstall for a quick look at where it's at, and then you lose an entire weekend with your new pet space lizard. X4 Foundations, 90% discount, €4.99. Now, in our humble opinion, X4 Foundations is the best space sim of 2025. It might not be the flashiest, but it's the one that genuinely becomes your story. The universe doesn't sit there waiting for you. Factions trade, they expand, they fight wars, and the economy keeps ticking whether you're involved or not, and that makes it feel properly alive. You start as a scrappy pilot doing odd jobs, and before you know it you're building stations, running logistics, commanding a fleet or two, and an interstellar supply chain that would make an Excel expert quietly resign. Honestly, a huge part of why X4 stays on top is the mod support. Between the Steam Workshop and the wider mod scene, you've got everything from quality of life improvements to full-on overhauls. New ships, sectors, faction, balance passes, entire different universes, so you can tailor the experience of the space sim that you want to live in. If you want a proper deep dive on how those systems actually all work together, Luke just put out an X4 video out on the channel before, so check it out after this one if you fancy going a bit deeper. Right everyone, that is my top 20. Tell me what you're picking up in the sale. Blast me in the comments below if you feel I've missed your space sim obsession. And just a final reminder, 5 X4 Discovery Pack keys to give away. Just gotta like the video, comment your picks, and then be on Discord so we can get the keys to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye now.